General Secretary Tongalen Muiva hits out at Union government for keeping pretentious silence of a framework agreement and warns not to impose Indian will on the Nagas. In his address on the occasion of 76th Naga Independence Day, Muiva says it's time for Centre to fulfill its promises made to Nagas. Federal government of Nagaland celebrates its 75th anniversary of Naga Independence Declaration at Chidema village ground on Sunday. During his speech, FGN President Viyale Le Meta appeals Nagas not to be confused with the puppet state of Nagaland created by the government of India with the intention of dividing and confusing the Nagas. NSCN-GPRN Akato Chopi faction on Sunday commemorated the 76th Naga Independence Day at an undisclosed location. In his message, Akato Chopi asserts top priorities of the NSCN, that is to fulfill the aspiration of the Naga people. NSCN-K Nikki faction celebrates the 76th Naga Independence Day at CFSB office in Padampukri, Dimapur. General Nikki Sumi, in his presidential address, reiterates stand of his group for inclusive peace and political settlement in all Naga inhabited areas. State Cabinet Minister and Nagaland BJP President Tamchan Imna Alung asked people not to politicize and blame BJP for delay in the Naga political settlement. Defending government of India, Alung says Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah already and willing for settlement. Stakeholders must make up their mind. Hello viewers, you are watching English Primetime News. This is Hassan. Now news in details. On the occasion of observing 76th Naga Independence Day celebration, NSCN General Secretary T.H. Muiva extended his warm greetings to all Nagas and paid homage to the comrade in arms who have made supreme sacrifices for the cause of Nagalim for Christ. Muiva also appreciated all civil societies for taking all the necessary troubles in advocating the rights of the Naga people. Muiva also claimed that by blood, culture and by history, Nagas are not Indians nor Burmese, but rather a sovereign people. Muiva stated that sovereignty is the birthright of the Nagas and should be defended at all costs so that future of Nagas will not be decided by outsiders. Muiva also stated that ceasefire is a political terminology and is a harbinger of peace. Muiva also claimed that Nagas being with ceasefire for 25 years has still not harbored any positive solution and that Nagas do not see any meaning in the ceasefire. Muiva stated, since the government of India betrayed the Naga national principle, all the past agreements were no solution and strongly opposed the imposition of Indian will on the Nagas. Muiva also Well, viewers, President Draupadi Murmu is currently addressing the nation on Sunday. This is the first time that Murmu is addressing the nation after swearing in as India's 15th president on July 15. Now we shall go to live for the president's speech.
गरीब के पास स्वयं का घर होना अब एक सपना नहीं रह गया, बल्कि सच्चाई का रूप ले चुका है। इसी तरह जल जीवन मिशन के अंतर्गत हर घर जल योजना पर कार्य चल रहा है। इन उपायों का और उसी तरह के अन्य प्रयासों का उद्देश्य सभी को, विशेषकर गरीबों को, बुनियादी सुविधाएं प्रदान करना है। भारत में आज संवेदनशीलता व कोरोना के जीवन मूल्यों को प्रमुखता दी जा रही है। इन जीवन मूल्यों का मुख्य उद्देश्य हमारे वंचित, जरूरतमंदों तथा समाज के हाशिए पर रहने वाले लोगों के कल्याण हेतु कार्य करना है। हमारे राष्ट्रीय मूल्यों को नागरिकों के मूल कर्तव्यों के रूप में भारत के संविधान में समाहित किया गया है। देश के प्रत्येक नागरिक से मेरा अनुरोध है कि वे अपने मूल कर्तव्यों के बारे में जानें, उनका पालन करें, जिससे हमारा राष्ट्र नई ऊंचाइयों को छू सके। प्यारे देशवासियों, आज देश में स्वास्थ्य, शिक्षा और अर्थव्यवस्था तथा उनके साथ जुड़े अन्य क्षेत्रों में जो अच्छे बदलाव दिखाई दे रहे हैं, उनके मूल में सुशासन पर विशेष बल दिए जाने की प्रमुख भूमिका है। जब राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि की भावना से कार्य किया जाता है तो उसका प्रभाव प्रत्येक निर्णय एवं कार्य क्षेत्र में दिखाई देता है। ये बदलाव विश्व समुदाय में भारत की प्रतिष्ठा में भी दिखाई दे रहा है। भारत के नया आत्मविश्वास का स्रोत देश के युवा, किसान और सबसे बढ़कर देश की महिलाएं हैं। अब देश में स्त्री पुरुष के आधार पर असमानता कम हो रही है। महिलाएं अनेक रूढ़ियों और आधार करते हुए सामाजिक और राजनीतिक प्रक्रियाओं में उनकी बढ़ती निर्णायक साबित होगी। आज हमारी पंचायती राज संस्थाओं में निर्वाचित महिला प्रतिनिधियों की संख्या 14 लाख से कहीं अधिक है। हमारे देश की बहुत सी उम्मीदें हमारी बेटियों पर टिकी हुई है। समुचित अवसर मिलने पर वह शानदार सफलता हासिल कर सकती है। अनेक बेटियों ने हाल ही में संपन्न हुए राष्ट्रमंडल खेलों में देश का गौरव बढ़ाया है। हमारे खिलाड़ी अन्य अंतर्राष्ट्रीय प्रतियोगिताओं में भी देश को गौरवान्वित कर रहे हैं। हमारे बहुत से विजेता समाज के वंचित वर्गों में से आते हैं। हमारी बेटियां फाइटर पायलट से लेकर स्पेस साइंटिस्ट होने तक हर क्षेत्र में अपना परचम लहरा रहे हैं। प्यारे देशवासियों, जब हम स्वाधीनता दिवस मनाते हैं तो वास्तव में हम अपनी भारतीयता का उत्सव मनाते हैं। हमारा भारत अनेक विविधताओं से भरा देश है, परंतु इस विविधता के साथ ही हम सभी में कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा है जो एक समान है। यही समानता हम सभी देशवासियों को एक सूत्र में पिरोती है तथा एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत की भावना के साथ आगे बढ़ने के लिए प्रेरित करती है। भारत अपने पहाड़ों, नदियों, झीलों और वनों तथा उन क्षेत्रों में रहने वाले जीव जंतुओं के कारण भी अत्यंत आकर्षक है। आज जब हमारे पर्यावरण के सम्मुख नई नई चुनौतियां आ रही है, तब हमें भारत की सुंदरता से जुड़ी हर चीज का दृढ़तापूर्वक संरक्षण करना चाहिए। जल, मिट्टी और जैविक विविधता का संरक्षण हमारी भावी पीढ़ियों के प्रति हमारा कर्तव्य है। प्रकृति की देखभाल माँ की तरह करना हमारी भारतीय संस्कृति का अभिन्न अंग रहा है। हम भारतवासी अपनी पारंपरिक जीवन शैली से पूरी दुनिया का सही राह दिखा सकते हैं। योग एवं आयुर्वेद विश्व समुदाय को भारत का अमूल्य उपहार है, जिसकी लोकप्रियता पूरी दुनिया में निरंतर बढ़ रही है। प्यारे देशवासियों, हमारे पास जो कुछ भी है वो हमारी मातृभूमि का दिया हुआ है। इसलिए हमें अपने देश की सुरक्षा, प्रगति और समृद्धि के लिए अपना सब कुछ अर्पण कर देने का संकल्प लेना चाहिए। हमारे अस्तित्व की सार्थकता एक महान भारत के निर्माण में ही दिखी। कन्नड़ भाषा के माध्यम से भारतीय साहित्य को समृद्ध करने महान राष्ट्रवादी कवि कुवेंपु ने कहा, नम्मा एलुबुगोड़ मेले मूडुबुदु 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 नव भारत दलीले। अर्थात मैं नहीं रहूंगा, नहीं रहेंगे तुम, परंतु हमारी अस्थियों पर उदित होगी नई भारत की महागाथा। उस राष्ट्रवती कवि का यह स्पष्ट आह्वान है कि मातृभूमि तथा देशवासियों के उत्थान के लिए सर्वस्व बलिदान करना हमारी आदर्श होना चाहिए। इन आदर्शों को अपनाने के लिए मैं अपने देश के युवाओं से विशेष अनुरोध करती हूँ। वे युवा ही 2047 के भारत का निर्माण करेंगे। अपना संबोधन समाप्त करने से पहले मैं भारत के सशस्त्र बलों, विदेशों में स्थित भारतीय मिशनों और अपनी मातृभूमि गौरवान्वित करने वाले प्रवासी भारतीयों को स्वाधीनता दिवस की बधाई देती हूँ। मैं सभी देशवासियों के सुखद और मंगलमय जीवन के लिए शुभकामनाएं व्यक्त करती हूँ। जय हिंद। From the shackles of colonial rulers and decided to reshape our destiny. As all of us celebrate the anniversary of that day, we vow to all those men and women who made enormous sacrifices to make it possible for us to live in a free India. It is a cause of celebration not only for all of us, but also for every advocate of democracy around the world. When India won independence, there were many internationalists and experts who were skeptical about the success of democratic form of government in India. They had their reasons to be doubtful. In those days, democracy was limited to economically advanced nations. India, after so many years of exploitation at the hands of foreign rulers, was marred by poverty and illiteracy. But we Indians proved the skeptic wrong. Democracy not only grew roots in this soil, it was enriched too. In most democracies, women had to wage a struggle to get the right to vote. But India adopted universal adult franchise right since the beginning of the Republic. Thus, the makers of modern India enabled each and every adult citizen to participate in the collective nation building. Thus, it is credited to have helped the world potential democracy. I believe this was not a coincidence. At the beginning of civilization, saints and seers of this land had developed a vision of humanity that was defined by equality of all, indeed oneness of all. The great freedom struggle and its leader like Mahatma Gandhi rediscovered our ancient values for modern times. Then it is no wonder our democracy has Indian characteristics. Gandhiji advocated decentralization and power to the people. For 75 weeks, now the nation has been commemorating these noble ideas that won us freedom. In March 2021, we began the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav with the reenactment of the Dandi March. This way, our celebration began with a tribute to that watershed event which had put our struggle on the world map. This festival is dedicated to the people of India. Based on the success achieved by the people, the resolve to build Atmanirbhar Bharat is also a part of this Mahotsav. Citizens from all age groups have keenly participated in a series of events held across the country. This grand festival is going ahead with the Har Ghar Triranga Abhiyan. The Indian tricolors are fluttering in every nook and corner of the country. Great martyrs would have been thrilled to see the spirit of the independence movement coming alive again on such a massive scale. Our glorious freedom struggles was waged bravely across the vast territory of our country. Many great freedom fighters did their duty and passed on the torch of awakening, leaving little trace on their heroic deeds. Forgotten for long were many heroes and their struggles, especially among the peasants and tribal population. The government's decision last year to observe 15th November Janajatiya Gaurav Divas is welcome because our tribal heroes are not merely local or regional icons, but they are the entire nation. Dear citizens, for a nation, particularly an ancient one such as India, the past 25 years is merely a blink of an eye. But for us as individuals, it is a lifetime. Senior citizens among us witnessed a dramatic change in their lifetime. They have seen how, after independence, all generations have toiled hard, how we met great challenges, and how we have taken charge of our destiny. The lessons learned in the process will be useful as we move towards the next milestone in the journey, the Amrit Kal, the 24th to be celebration of the centenary of our independence. By the year 2047, we will have fully realized the dreams of our freedom fighters. We will have given a concrete shape to the vision of those who, led by Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, drafted the Constitution. We all already on course to build an Atmanirbhar Bharat, an India that would have realized its true potential. The world has seen a new India rising in recent years, more so after the outbreak of COVID-19. Our response to the pandemic has been appreciated everywhere. We launched the biggest vaccination drive in human history with vaccines manufactured in the country itself. Last month, we crossed the 200 crore mark in cumulative vaccine coverage in combating the pandemic. Our achievements have been better than those of many developed countries. For this feat, we are grateful to our scientists, doctors, nurses, paramedics, and the staff associated with vaccination. The pandemic has uprooted lives and also economies in the entire world. When the world has been battling the economic consequences of the great crisis, India got its act together and is now moving forward. India is among the fastest growing major economies in the world. India's startup ecosystem ranks high in the world. The success of startups in our country, especially the growing number of unicorns, is a shining example of our industrial progress. The government and policymakers deserve credit for beating the global trend and helping the economy flourish. During the last few years, unprecedented progress has been made in the development of physical and digital infrastructure. Through the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti Yojana, all the modes of connectivity based on water, land, air, etc. are being integrated in the whole country to enable seamless transportation across the country. For the vibrancy of growth visible in our country, credit must also be given to workers and farmers whose hard work has made it possible, and entrepreneurs whose business acumen has created wealth. What is all the more heartening is that the growth is becoming more inclusive and regional disparities too are reducing. But this is only the beginning. A series of economic reforms and policy initiatives have been preparing the ground for a long term. Digital India, for example, is creating the bedrock of a knowledge economy. The national education policy is aimed at preparing the future generation for the next stage of industrial revolution while also reconnecting it with our heritage. Economic success is leading to an ease in living too. Economic reform are rightly accompanied by innovative welfare initiatives. A home of one's own is no longer a dream for the poor, but a reality for more and more people, thanks to the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Similarly, under the Jal Jeevan Mission, tap water connection is being provided to every household since the launch of the Har Ghar Jal scheme. The aim of these and many other similar efforts is to provide basic amenities to all, particularly the poor. The key word for India today is compassion for the downtrodden, for the needy, and for those on the margins. Some of our national values have been incorporated in our Constitution as the fundamental duties of the citizens. I appeal to every citizen to know about their fundamental duties and follow them in letter and spirit so that our nation reaches new heights. Dear citizens, at the core of the transformation we have been witnessing in healthcare, education, economy, as well as a number of related areas is the stress on good governance. When work is done with the spirit of nation first, it is bound to reflect in every decision and every sector. This is also reflected in India's standing in the world. India's newfound confidence stems from the spirit of its youth, its farmers, and above all, its women. Gender inequalities are reducing, and women are moving ahead, breaking many glass ceilings. Their increasing participation in social and political processes will prove decisive. At the grassroots level, we have more than 14 lakh elected women representatives in Panchayat Raj institutions. Our daughters are the biggest hope for the nation. Some of them brought laurels for the country in the recent held Commonwealth Games. Of course, India's sportspersons have been making the country proud by their performance in international competitions. A large number of our winners come from underprivileged segments of society. From becoming fighter pilots to space scientists, our daughters are scaling great heights. Dear citizens, in celebrating Independence Day, we are celebrating our Bharatiyata. Our country is full of diversity, but at the same time, we all have something in common. It is this common thread which binds all of us together and inspire us to work together with the spirit of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. India is a very beautiful country, also because of its mountains, rivers, lakes and forests, and the animals and birds that live in such landscape. When the environment is facing new challenges, we must remain determined to preserve all that makes India beautiful. Conserving water, soil and biodiversity is our duty towards our children. Caring for Mother Nature has been part and parcel of Indian culture. With our traditional lifestyle, we Indians can show the way to the rest of the world. Yoga and Ayurveda are India's invaluable gift to the world. Their popularity is on the rise all over the globe. Dear fellow citizens, our beloved country has given us everything we have in our life. We should pledge to give everything we can for the sake of safety, security, progress and prosperity of our country. Our existence will become meaningful only in building a glorious India. The great nationalist poet Kubhempu, who enriched Indian literature through Kannada language, had written, Nannu Odive, Ninnu Odive, Nomma Eduvegal Mele, Mudubudu, Novo Bharote de Lille, which means, I will pass, so will you, but on our bones will arise the great tale of a new India. This is a clarion call of the nationalist poet for making total sacrifice for the motherland and upliftment of fellow citizens. To follow these ideals is my special appeals to the youth of the country who are going to build the India 2047. Before I conclude, I would like to extend Independence Day greetings to the armed forces, to the members of Indian missions abroad, and to the Indian diaspora who continue to make their motherland proud. My best wishes to all of you. Thank you. Jai Hind.
So viewers, that was President Draupadi Murmu addressing the nation on the eve of India's Independence Day. Next we have the federal government of Nagaland celebrated the 75th anniversary of Nagaland Independence Declaration at Chidema Village Crown on Sunday. The program was led by FGN President Keda Giji, while retired General Viale Mehta unfurled the national flag and addressed the nation. The program opened with a prayer and reading the Bible. Before unfurling the flag, Eno Shekopa Venhu blew the trumpet, which was followed by national anthem, God Bless My Nagaland. The program also witnessed a performance on patriotic folk song by Tetso sisters, while various cultural clubs and groups also presented cultural songs and dances.
The federal government, we do not have money. We do not extort. But whatever we want, whenever we want something, we used to get. We expected to spend about 20 lakhs for this function. Seating arrangements, foodings, over and above small expenditures like wages, programs, and tokens.
Federal government of Nagaland, on the occasion of celebrating 75th anniversary of Nagaland Independence Declaration at Chidema Village, Kohima, General retired Viale Mehta extended his warm greetings to all the Nagas. Viale also stated that the day is observed to mark and to celebrate a great achievement, and at the same time, the suffering, losses and sacrifice endured and given by the Naga people starting from 1950s till date. Mehta also encouraged all the Nagas to be proud for doing and achieving all that is proper and legally right. Mehta, while addressing the gathering, also shared a brief history on Naga independence and how the sacrifices and struggles shaped the current history of the Nagas. Mehta also briefed the gathering by quoting the Article 1 of the Nagaland Constitution. He stated that Nagas should not be confused with the puppet state of Nagaland created by the government of India with the intention of dividing and confusing the Nagas. He also claimed that the name of Naga country is Nagaland and no other name, likewise no other constitution and no other flag except the constitution and flag of the federal government of Nagaland. He again encouraged the Naga youth to face the challenges that is upon them, like Nagas of his generation who stood against all the odds and the enemy that unleashed in the past 75 years. Mehta urged the youth to come forward and shoulder the national responsibility.
Fosemi village, Shepomaround region. Fosemi.
NSCN-GPRN, a Kato faction on Sunday commemorated the 76th Naga Independence Day with Ato Kilongser, Michael Yepto gracing the event as chief guest. Notably, Michael unfurled the Naga flag and called upon everyone to be rejuvenated and to look forward to what God has in store for the Nagas. Michael Yepto also took the honor to extend respects to all Naga fallen heroes who never yielded to the adversaries but stood their grounds at all times. It is to be mentioned that Kilongser Nukrang Lanu Ayer delivered the presidential speech, while vote of thanks was proposed by collective leader Vini Ho Kiho. It is worth mentioning that NSCN-GPRN President Akato Chopi, through a message, extended greetings to all on this 76th anniversary of Naga Independence Day. Akato also honored and exalted the founding fathers for whose unfathomable faith and courage Nagas are still continuing to stand firm to proclaim and profess Nagas' inherent right as a nation. Akato also stated that the top priorities of the NSCN is to fulfill the aspirations of the Naga people, and so as well it is the bounden duty of educated young Nagas to shoulder the gigantic task of the legacy and move forward. The NSCN-K Nikki faction on Sunday celebrated the 76th Naga Independence Day at CFSB office in Patampukri, Dimapur. Chief guests of the celebrations were Kilongser NSCN-GPRN Ino Yeshito Su, who also hoisted the Naga national flag. A 1-minute silence prayer was observed for martyrs during the program. President of NSCN-GPRN Nikisumi and Ato Kilongser NSCN-GPRN Starson Lamkang delivered Independence Day messages. General Nikisumi, in his presidential address, urged upon every Naga individual to honor and respect those who laid down their lives defending political rights of the Nagas. He also lauded all Naga political groups that are genuinely fighting for Naga cause. Nikki further pledged to all orphans and widows that the NSCN-GPRN would never stray away from defending God-given political rights of the Nagas. He further iterated that the only way to achieve aspirations of the Nagas is through unity in Christ, whilst asserting that there can be no permanent solution without unity. Nikki also reiterated stand of the NSCN-GPRN for inclusive peace and political settlement in all Naga inhabited areas. The program culminated with a grand Independence Day feast. The Nagaland Bharatiya Janata Party President Tumchan Ina Alung on Saturday said that the people cannot blame the party for delay in the Naga political settlement, as there are two sides and both have to agree on the terms to ink a final settlement. Alung asserted that issue has been politicized as if BJP leaders should be the only one to give solution, adding that the government of India under Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah is ready and willing for settlement. Alung also mentioned that the core committee on Naga political issue under Chief Minister Nipirio and Deputy Chief Minister Y. Paton was doing its best to facilitate the final solution. Responding to the claim that the BJP is responsible for the 2018 slogan, Election for Solution, Alung clarifies that he was not part of the talks. He further added that there may be some hitches and some agreeable things, and if something is still not being settled, then you can blame the BJP for not settling it. On Saturday, Dimapur Bengali Students Union organized a bike rally to commemorate 75th Independence Day under the theme Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav at Dimapur, starting from Durga Mandir. Meanwhile, the rally was kicked off by Dimapur Bengali President Samaj K. Paul. A total of 220 bikers participated in the rally. Joining the rest of the country in celebrating the nation's 75th years of independence, the 37th Battalion Border Security Force organized a motorcycle rally on Saturday evening. The motorcycle rally was organized under the banner of Har Ghar Tiranga campaign, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav from DC Office Complex, Kohima. The rally was flagged off by Kohima Deputy Commissioner Shanava C in the presence of 37 Battalion BSF officiating Commandant SP Singh, civil dignitaries, officers and troops of the battalion. The rally ended at BSF camp in Chidema. In order to celebrate the 75 years of India's independence, a mass social work was organized by the Kohima District Administration on Saturday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Various departments were assigned at different designated locations under one team leader, each covering the whole of Kohima city with a stretch starting from New Reserve to IG Stadium and TCP Gate to Paramedical by Pass Junction, including all wards and colonies under Kohima municipality. The mass social work was successful with the participation of government employees from all the departments and cooperation from Association of Kohima Municipal Ward and Panchayat and the general public. Deputy Commissioner Kohima, Shanava C, went around the site to see the progress of the work, while Additional Deputy Commissioner Kohima, Roseto Yuri, was the overall in charge, while sector magistrates monitored their respective sectors during the social work. Har Ghar Tiranga, under the aegis of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav on Saturday, motorcycle rally was also organized by 37th Battalion BSF from DC Office Complex in Kohima. The Twensang Battalion of Assam Rifles on Sunday organized a Trianga rally at headquarters of 28 Assam Rifles in Twensang. Rally was a part of Har Ghar Tiranga campaign under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The rally aimed at inculcating love and patriotism in the hearts of people towards India. A total of 55 aspiring Agnivars and personnel of Twensang Battalion participated in the rally. The event was held under the aegis of Headquarters 7th Sector, Assam Rifles. On Saturday, an open angling competition was organized by Pejama Youth Organization with an aim to promote ecotourism at Nijirza Pejama village under Kohima district. Around 50 people took part in the competition, including participants from Pek and Dimapur. PYO President Vizoko Sasumo said that the intention of hosting the angling competition was to promote ecotourism while keeping the surroundings clean. He also added that it would be an annual event and expressed hope for more participations in the next edition. Pejama Village Council Chairman Bizo M. Kochu appreciated the youth for taking the initiative in preserving the area. Meanwhile, in the competition, Sievile Peter Sazumo was declared the winner, while Masileto Kar came in second place and K. Chikung Au in third place, while fourth place went to Vikoto Sajumo. As the country is celebrating its Har Ghar Tiranga campaign, people from every corner of the state are being celebrating through different rallies and walks. Nagaland Civil Secretariat also adorned with colors of national flag as part of Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. Through this campaign, it encourages people to bring Tiranga home and hoist to mark 75th years of India's independence. The Nagaland Ziliang People Organization and parent civil society organizations temporarily suspended the blockade of KAV village. Notably, the decision was taken upon receiving Nagaland Commissioner's letter assuring that all matters related and grievances of CSOs leading to indefinite blockade have been considered, and also putting on hold whatever compensation to be paid to bogus claimants of residents of the erstwhile KAV village. Meanwhile, the NZPO and the CSOs stated that they expect the government to work on its assurance. They further warned that in case of failure to fulfill the assurance, they will resume the democratic means of protest again. Viewers, that's all in the bulletin. Keep watching Nagaland TV.